This is Sherry Bracken with Big Island News Center. We're here in the Lava 105 and Koa Country Studios talking with Jim Kerver. Jim and his wife Melanie Kerver own the Coffee Shack restaurant, which is on Highway 11 in Kona now. Aloha, good morning, Jim.
Hi, Sherry.
Jim, tell us, how long have you and Melanie owned the Coffee Shack?
We took over the ownership of the Coffee Shack in December of 2000. After 30 years at Lake Tahoe, we decided it was too cold, too much snow there, and decided to move to Hawaii.
Well, that was probably a good judgment. What made you decide to buy the Coffee Shack restaurant?
Well, we stopped in there and we liked it, and the view's fantastic, and the food was nice, and the people was nice, and it had a real good feel to it. And coincidentally, there was an ad in the newspaper that said for sale.
Well, what a coup. Jim, I understand that the Coffee Shack restaurant actually was at one time a real coffee shack. Tell us about the history of the building.
The Coffee Shack is actually two buildings there. The original building was built in the 30s and was down the road on the old highway, and it was used for a co-op for the coffee farmers and the housing for the Filipino coffee workers at the time. In the 50s, after the highway was realigned, they moved it up to its current location, and it was used, again, still for processing coffee for the farmers. And also, it was used as a community hall for the Japanese Buddhist, and they would have religious ceremonies. They'd have funeral services there, and then parties, and they would have monthly meetings there, and it was quite a gathering place.
The Cooking Channel somehow found out about the Coffee Shack, and they're going to be here actually doing filming. Talk about what you know about what the Cooking Channel is going to do at the Coffee Shack restaurant. Speaking of your lilikoi cheesecake, because isn't that one of the recipes that's going to be featured?
That's one of the recipes.
Okay.
The Coffee Shack, we make all our own pastries, and we make our own bread. The Cooking Channel will be featuring the luau bread. Our baker, Loca, will be going through the process and doing a demonstration step by step of preparing the luau bread. And also there will be a presentation, but not the actual process of the lilikoi cheesecake.
How did they find out about the Coffee Shack? Local people know about you, but how in the world did they find you in Honau now?
A friend of the producer, this is what I've heard, was in Hawaii, and he he'd walk to the restaurant every morning, and he'd have our banana bread and a cup of coffee.
When is the Food Channel going to air the episodes of Foodography that you'll be featured on?
They are not definite on when it'll show, but they're projecting this fall.
Okay, very good. Thank you. The Coffee Shack is on Highway 11 in Honau now. You just go south from Kailua Kona. How far from Kailua Kona are you? How many miles?
We're between mile marker 109 and 108 as you're heading south.
Okay, and how long does it take to get?
It's about 14 miles from
Okay, 14 miles. That's not too long. And you're actually after Napo'opo'o Road, and you're before you go down to the place of refuge?
Right.
This is Sherry Bracken from Big Island News Center. We've been talking with Jim Kerver of the Coffee Shack restaurant. Thanks for being with us. Aloha.